I think you can look at the Bob Saleh regime in like two acts. I think people are forgetting like how 21 and 22 were talked about, how it was a breath of fresh air, how like people liked the coaching staff, whether it was Ulbrich, how the jump he took from year one to year two, how like LaFleur was showed creativity that very few Jets offensive coordinators have ever shown. And then when LaFleur got canned, basically falling on the sword for the failed Zach Wilson pick, and they hired Hackett, and they basically were like, you and Rodgers can coach the team. Bob Saleh's going to play golf. I feel like there was a seismic shift, and that is what we're seeing, and that is what we're talking about, how this is such a dramatic shift from that. Is like that, like that's almost like two different coaching staffs. Like Nathaniel Hackett is like, how I remember the Bob Saleh tenure going sour and changing to being as bad as it clearly it was after hearing AVT and Brees speak and even like the beat go off. It's like the 23-24 Saleh tenure. Like Bob Saleh, the coach who was hired, like kind of died when LaFleur left. And he basically did what Joe Douglas did. They fired his guy and he was a mopey little bitch about it. Same thing what Joe Douglas did with Rex Hogan, where it's like, well, yeah, I basically am not going to like work. Like Rodgers can coach the team. Like that's kind of what Bob Saleh did. Having a guy, Rodgers, holding all these people accountable when he wouldn't even show up for training camp because he had to go to Egypt is like a perfect microcosm of like why the Jets fell short of expectations. Aaron Glenn is completely different. I think Aaron Glenn isn't going to change. I think Aaron Glenn is going to be himself throughout his entire tenure. If they win enough games, he'll be remembered fondly for it. If he'll not, he'll go out on a shield, and that's what I can at least respect about Aaron.